Living in Venice, Florida, yeah, it's always about the sunshine, the beach days, and that small town charm. But lately, there's a whole new energy here. More things to do, more people moving, the vibe, totally different than how it used to be, but in a good way. Okay, so what most people don't realize is that with all the growth, there are a few surprises you'll want to know about before you pack up and move. I see it every single day, the wins, the little headaches, and the changes nobody talks about. So stick around because I am about to show you exactly what's really happening in Venice right now.
Whether you're picturing retirement mornings playing pickleball or logging into work from Foxtail Coffee in Welland Park or just trading snow boots for a paddleboard, this video is for you. You're not getting the glossy brochure version today. This is real talk from someone who's here every single day, walking down Venice Avenue, meeting families that is settling into Welland Park and hearing what they love and what surprised them. We're going to talk about it all, from the charm of old bungalows near the beach to the brand new builds with HOAs and CDDs. Today, we are going to talk about a whole new energy to Venice.
One of the biggest changes I've seen lately, Venice is getting younger, and not just by a little. For decades, this was known as a quiet retirement town. But now, on the weekends, you'll see soccer games, kids splashing around the local community splash pads, or strollers weaving through the farmer's market at Centennial Park. Okay, full transparency, a typical weekend morning for my family involves riding our e-bikes down Prado Boulevard, downtown Welland Park, where I get my morning fix of coffee at Foxtail, and then we head over to the Welland Park playground and we let the kids burn some energy. There's just so much to do here. Even more remote workers are calling this place home. People who used to be in Tampa or Chicago are now logging in from a shaded lanai in Grand Palm, or like our recent buyers from Ohio on their condo on the island. They're drawn by the calmer pace, quieter beaches, then Clearwater, and the fact that the housing dollar goes further than in Sarasota. After school, you'll see buses stopping at every community, dropping off kids. You'll see parents making their way to various after-school activities like gymnastics or karate, or even older kids like my neighbor's son fishing in our pond trying to get some catfish. This is something you just don't see much a few years ago. And it's not just families, single professionals, young couples, and entrepreneurs are moving in for the coastal lifestyle, without the chaos of the bigger Florida cities. You'll find them at Sharky's for dinner, and then they're heading over to Welland Park for live music. Even pickleball courts, I swear, are filling up with players in their 20s and 30s now. It just brings a whole new energy to the game. With that younger crowd comes a shift, though, in the city of what it offers. So you're gonna see more craft coffee spots pop up, co-working spaces, and just a really big growing calendar of family community events. And it's really changing the whole vibe. It's also reinforcing one of Venice's best qualities, that close-knit small town feeling that makes this place so special, which is exactly where we're headed next, because it's one thing to attract new people, but how Venice keeps its charm while growing, that's the part you need to see.
One of the things Venice has managed to hold on to, even with the growth, is that small town, everything's connected feel. You can park once on Venice Avenue and spend the whole afternoon on foot. Grab a cappuccino on Venice Island at the coffee roastery, wander past shopped windows filled with seashell and coastal home decor, pick up fresh tomatoes at the farmer's market in Centennial Park, watch the gazebo band plays in the background, then follow the brick sidewalks all the way down to the beach for sunset. Along the way, you can catch the smell of salt in the air and hear the shuffle of flip-flops on the pavement. It's a rhythm you only get in a true beach town. Locals will even tell you it's the kind of place where the barista knows your coffee order, the bookstore shop owner at Island Bookshop asks about your grandkids, and you run into friends at Detweiler's while picking up dinner ingredients. Kids ride their bikes down Harbor Drive with ice cream cones from Venice Island Creamery dripping down their hands. Neighbors linger in front yards to chat while their dogs sniff hello. Downtown still has that historic charm. The clock tower, the low-rise buildings painted in soft pastels, the oak trees framing every corner, and outside the island, the neighborhoods are laid out so you can bike to Shamrock Park, walk to your favorite pizza spot, or make a quick grocery run without fighting for a parking spot.
And hey, if you're hearing this and thinking, that's exactly the pace of life I've been looking for, don't be shy about reaching out. Lisa and I talk to people every week who found us right here on YouTube, and we love helping them figure out where they'd fit in best in Venice. You can call, text, or email us anytime. Our contact info is in the description below. We can chat about your goals, no pressure. We're here to help you picture your life here and make it happen when the time's right. So, speaking of time, it's time to get real about the price tag that comes with calling Venice home these days.
Venice isn't the hidden bargain it used to be. Back in 2020, a 2-bedroom on Harbor Drive went for around $300K. Today, you're talking to mid to high 400s, even if you get a chance to make an offer before it's gone. Over in South Venice, homes that sold new under $250K just a few years ago are now flirting with double the price. HOA dues, CDD fees, and Florida insurance aren't shy about making themselves known. Insurance is unpredictable here. Flood zones, the age of your home, and upgrades like impact windows or even a new roof can push your premium up or down by thousands a year. New builds in Welland Park usually mean fewer headaches with insurance. Older island homes near the water, gorgeous, but plan for more. Property taxes are still lower than some states, but on a $500K home, you're usually in the $5K range without exemptions. Living costs have crept up around town as well. A dinner at Sharky's or Finn's, a couple of drinks by the beach, even a grocery haul at Detweiler's, locals have noticed the difference. Some chalk it up to Florida's popularity. Others say it's the cost of living in a place where the beach is part of your week instead of a vacation. Talk to neighbors who've been here for a while and they'll tell you it's not cheap anymore, but I'm not going anywhere. Because when your Tuesday night can include a bike ride past the Palms, coffee downtown, and sunset over the Gulf, it's hard to put a number on that. That's exactly why Heather and I break down every cost before our buyers commit. The home, the price, the monthly outflow, and the hidden expenses no one likes to be surprised by. Costs are up, no question, but so is the quality of life for many locals, thanks to new master plan communities that are transforming the way people live here.
If you haven't driven through parts of Venice lately, you might not believe what you're seeing. What used to be cow pastures, palmetto scrub, and sleepy 2-lane roads has turned into entire neighborhoods with their own restaurants, parks, and gathering spots. Welland Park, Beach Walk, Grand Palm, these aren't just subdivisions, they are self-contained little towns, and they've completely shifted the way people live here. Take Welland Park. You can grab a cold craft beer at Oak and Stone, wander over to the food trucks while the smell of barbecue hangs in the air, and then find a spot on the grass by the lake and listen to live music as the sun drops. That lakefront breeze on a summer night, worth every penny. Over at Welland Park Golf and Country Club, you'll see neighbors in tennis whites heading over to the courts, families lounging at resort-style pools, and a tiki bar that feels more like a boutique restaurant than an HOA amenity. And Grand Palm, sunrise walkers hit the trails even before it gets hot. Pickleball courts are packed by 8 a.m. and the calendar's so full of community events, you'd have to try to stay home. The beauty of these places is convenience. You can live, eat, shop, and play without leaving your neighborhood, unless you want to. For newcomers, it's an instant way to plug in and meet people. For long-timers, it's a completely new side of Venice that didn't exist a decade ago. And when the slower summer months hit, these communities keep buzzing with things like farmers markets, concerts, and movie nights.
Picture this. If you were moving to Venice, would you go for the all-in-one neighborhood where you can walk to dinner, listen to live music under the stars, and be home in minutes? Or would you want a little more space, a big backyard, and the quiet coastal stretch all to yourself? Drop it in the comments. I really do read them all, and I'd love to hear which lifestyle you see yourself in. But here's the other side of the growth, the dust, the traffic, and the waiting. And that's where we need to talk about Venice's growing pains.
Growth looks amazing in the renderings, but on the ground, it can come with some growing pains. New builds, you're looking at 8 to 10 months. Summer rains can turn a site into a red clay pond. Inspections stack up, and while the model home feels peaceful, 2 streets down you might find concrete mixers idling, framing crews on trusses, and porta potties standing guard. Morning pickleball, let's just say the sound might include the sound of a hammer or two. Here's the thing though, it's temporary. I live in a new community in Welland Park, and I deal with the trades trucks, dumpsters staring me out across the street, and the occasional sound of workers. But you know what? It's all worth it for me. These are the sounds of neighborhoods being born. Smart buyers, they visit lots at different times, study phase maps, and know exactly where these temporary construction entrances will be. Because once it's done, you're left with smooth new street, fresh amenities, and a community that's buzzing with life. And the upgrades aren't just inside the neighborhoods. River Road's expansion, it's completely changed how people move through Venice. And that's worth talking about next.
If you've been in Venice a while, you know exactly what River Road used to be. A narrow 2-lane stretch where getting stuck behind a cement truck meant your morning plans were toast. Now, totally a different story. The expansion turned it into a wide, smooth connector that moves really fast between East Venice, I-75, and Sarasota, and down toward Northport. That first drive where you hit every green light and roll onto the interstate in minutes, you'll think this can't be Venice traffic. For anyone looking in Welland Park, Stony Brook, or Grand Palm, calm, it's a game changer. You can be at Sarasota Memorial Hospital, the Venice campus, in a snap. Head up to Sarasota to do some shopping at UTC, or drive south for a day trip to Marco or Sanibel Islands. And here's what that means for the market. Property values in these eastern and southeastern pockets are already ticking up. If you know where to look, there's still neighborhoods that just started to benefit from the new access, meaning you can get in before the next wave of demand hits. It's just not a road upgrade, it's a lifestyle shift. And in Venice, those new roads, they don't just take you somewhere. They deliver you straight into an outdoor lifestyle that's hard to beat.
Here's something you notice fast when you live in Venice. Being outside isn't an occasional thing. It's just part of your daily rhythm. You're gonna see paddleboards strapped to car roofs before breakfast, bikes leaning against downtown cafe patios, and early morning walkers heading halfway down the Legacy Trail while the rest of the country is still hitting snooze. We've got Venice Beach with its white, sugary sand that's perfect for shell hunting, Sharky's Pier for sunset fishing and an occasional dinner, and the community parks like Centennial or Cool Today, where you can just catch a game, join a yoga class, and just kind of let the kids burn off some energy. Pickleball has taken over. Seriously, you cannot go a day without hearing the pop, pop, pop from the courts. All over the community, all over Venice, you hear it. Just the other day, Saturday, I started the morning with an organic coffee and muffin from Mission Cafe, biked along the Legacy Trail near Shamrock Park, which is where we are right now, stopped at the Venice Beach for some shell hunting, and made it back to Welland Park in the afternoon for a community swim with our neighbors. That's just the thing. Here, you can fit so much into one day without even feeling rushed. Health and sunshine aren't things you have to make time for. They're just baked into everyday life. Weekends here don't need a plan, they just happen. One day it's morning, paddling on the Intercoastal, lunch at Welland Park Brewery, and a lazy afternoon bike ride through your neighborhood. The next is a beach picnic followed by live music downtown. And because our winters feel like most people's spring, you're not shutting down your outdoor life for months at a time. It's year-round here.
If you're already picturing yourself in this kind of lifestyle, don't just daydream it, guys. Let's make it happen. Heather and I work with people moving here from all over the country every single week, and we'll help you find the neighborhood, homestyle, and community vibe that fit you best. You can call, text, or email us. Our info's right there in the description, and yes, it's really us on the other end. We live here, we know these streets, and we love helping folks make Venice home. And while Venice has an active side, it's not just about being on the move. This is also a place that knows how to gather, celebrate, and keep the calendar full, which brings us to the festival and event scene you might not expect here.
One of the biggest shifts in Venice lately is how much more there is to do. It used to be that if you wanted a real night out, live music, a food truck rally, or a big festival, you were probably going to drive up to Sarasota. Not anymore. Now, Venice is holding its own. And honestly, it's giving Sarasota a run for its money. Downtown Venice has always been charming, but now you've got night markets with twinkle lights strung over Venice Avenue, live music drifting out of Centennial Park, and food truck nights that fill the air with the smell of barbecue and kettle corn.
Venice knows how to have a good time. But once the sun dips, the pace shifts. By 9 or 10 p.m., most places have closed up. The streets are quiet, and you won't find all-night dance clubs or shoulder-to-shoulder bar scenes. This isn't Miami. It's more of a grab a drink at Made in Italy, catch the last Sharky sunset. For some, that's a drawback. For others, that's exactly the point. The noise and chaos stay elsewhere, and here you get calm, safety, and those salty Gulf breezes. If your perfect night ends with a glass of wine in the lanai and the waves in the background, what some call a limitation might just be a lifestyle win. That mellow after dark rhythm is also a huge reason Venice has shifted into the true year-round community. And the way that's changed daily life here is worth seeing.
There was a time in summer when Venice meant empty streets, restaurants, limited hours, and evening shutting down until fall. But that's history now. Venice has a steady year-round heartbeat. Picture this, coffee shops buzzing on a Tuesday morning in July. Lisa and I can definitely vouch for that. Kids riding their bikes around Welland Park, yoga mats spread across the parks, local neighborhood events. Calendars so packed that no matter the month, there's always something. Farmers markets keep going, live music still plays in the downtown gazebo, and locals don't have to wait until November to have a little fun. The shift comes from more people making Venice their full-time home, retirees escaping the snow for good, remote workers trading bigger cities for better value, and young families always wanting a safe, close-knit community. Even the grocery store has that friendly, busy energy in August. Okay, your turn. If you could live in Florida in a beach town year-round, would you want that always-on energy or a quieter off-season? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear which one fits your style. And with more people here year-round, there's one thing that our clients always have to plan on when living on the coast full-time.
Living in Venice, you cannot ignore the weather. Between flood zones, hurricane season, and rising insurance premiums, storm planning is just part of the deal here. Coastal spots closer to the inner coastal or in parts of South Venice might carry higher flood risk, while newer inland communities often get a break with lower premiums. Thanks to updated building codes, it's not just your location. Roof type, elevation, and whether you've got hurricane-rated windows can swing your annual bill by thousands. A 1970s block home might run you one set of costs, while a brand new build in Welland Park with full storm proofing is a whole different story. Storm season also has its rituals. Coming from New York, I appreciated the first storm that I went through, all the neighbors getting together and assisting and putting everybody's shutters up. It was a great thing to see. It's not fear, guys. It's just the readiness of those things that quietly bond the community. And speaking of feeling connected, one of the things people talk about most when they settle in here isn't just the weather. It's the way neighborhoods feel day in and day out.
One thing you're gonna notice quickly when living in Venice is that this is a community where people genuinely look out for each other. We're talking about the kind of place where someone spots your dog trotting down the sidewalk and calls you before you even know they've slipped out the gate. Neighbors wave, remember your name, and they check in if they haven't seen you in a while. I actually just did this with my neighbor. Take the Legacy Trail early in the morning. You're gonna pass friendly walkers, cyclists giving you a good morning nod, and maybe even see a group doing sunrise yoga at the beach. Cool today isn't just for spring training either. You're gonna find locals gathering for movie nights during the summer, small town style events that make you feel like you really belong. One of our clients actually summed it up perfectly the other day. He said, I just didn't buy a house here. I bought a peace of mind and I can go on vacation and know that my neighbors are keeping an eye on my place. That's the heartbeat that Venice is. It's safe, it's connected, and when you combine that with a sense of safety, Venice's growing year-round energy, you start to see why people are putting down roots here for the long haul. Which leads us right into our final thoughts.
So, is living in Venice, Florida right for you? Maybe, but here's what I do know. It's not the sleepy little secret it used to be. The beaches still stop you in your tracks, downtown still feels like a Hallmark movie set, and the community is as welcoming as ever. But now, there's a year-round buzz, new hangouts, and a lifestyle that can match more than one kind of dream. If you're picturing yourself here, we are ready to help you guys figure out exactly where you land. Call, text, or email, whatever feels easiest. All our info's in the description. Seriously, don't overthink it. Just reach out, we'll talk it through.